Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome under the lights here in Singapore. And surprisingly enough, we are in for a wet qualifying here in Southeast Asia. It is currently 7:04 UK time. But yes, we are here in Singapore. Admittedly, a track I'm not super familiar with, but hopefully joining me in the commentary box tonight is the one and only Carl Edens, BitW. Good evening.
Evening. We've got a monsoon tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for see who can set a monster lap, considering I've just seen one of the McLarens head out on mediums, but I think it's looking quite like, I mean, it's heavy rain, it's very heavy rain. But yes, we'll see what happens in today's commentary session and race. Could be in for a long one, hopefully not, but you know, it's always on the table.
Yeah, it looks like it's full wet conditions, but a couple of the drivers are braving out on a set of intermediates because just like in real life, the intermediates, even when it's in full wet conditions, tends to come to them over time. I mean, yes, it'll take a while because you've got to shift all the standing water that's currently on track as it is, but it's very difficult to get the full wets fired up, and sometimes if you're not careful, you could be going around with tyres that are freezing cold, and you're just going to be sliding round. So due to it being a wet qualifying session at this stage, I believe there's going to be near enough 100% of the grid, all 19 drivers will most likely put about over 5 laps worth of fuel and just blast it round to clear the water and obviously improve the track as it goes along, and just stay out there on track to find where the grip is and just clear the water as the session goes on.
Yes, if there are any audio issues that need fixing, please do let me know in chat. And also apologies if the pause menu does come up. Can't help it. It just, if I click off like I just did, then it will come up for no reason. As Colin has started his lap, he might have invalidated for this lap though on the final corner coming up. Round turn 2 and 3. The hot
that would
spot
invalidate this lap and next, so that's just to let you know. If you invalidate too late into the lap, it'll null the lap you are on, but it will also null and void the lap after as well. So even though he's not going to get a time in this time around, he's as I mentioned earlier, they'll be out there with quite heavy cars to just do laps and laps and laps, because you want to be out there and not coming in and out from the pits, as the track will always be improving every minute of this session.
We'll have a look on board with Baby Hornet though, who's just starting his lap now as he dives it down the straight into turn 1. Push it nice into turn 2 and 3, taking a bit of curb on turn 2 and pushing it wide on the exit. Now it's powering it down towards turn 5. Pull it right over to the side, try not to drift it round. He's taking a bit of an outside line, definitely struggling with the traction. Up towards turn 6, which is just a kink in the road, and Rassam has retired. Up towards turn 7 now on the inside. He has a little bit of a moment on the entrance and on the exit into turn 8. Very sharp corners on this track, definitely, that is to be said. Into turn 9 now, pushing it quite as close to the barriers as you physically can as you power it down the straight. Into 10, take a bit at the curb if you dare, and a bit of a difficult series of corners is turn 11 and 12. Across the bridge into the hairpin of turn 13, which is very difficult in these wet conditions. Making sure you can find the traction, don't apply the power too early. Drag King with a 148, that's a good lap banker from him. Into turn 14 now, taking a wide entrance to get the best turn in. Round turn 15, which is another kink in the road. This would be a DRS zone in the dry. He locks the tyres into turn 16 and on the exit of 17. Pushing it close to the wall, has a bit of a moment on the exit, drifting it around turn 18 and 19. What does that put him? It puts him with a 150.5.
Yeah, for a GTS to already be into the 48s at this stage, he must have had a monster lap, really hooked up with the car in these conditions.
And he's on the
Baby
inters.
Hornet, yeah, Baby Hornet on that lap. On the full wets, there's, as I say, there's about almost a majority on inters, but there are a few drivers out there giving the full wets a try, and Baby Hornet was one of them, as Saviour goes for a 48.0, so it will eventually, it does take time for the inters to kick in, but the inters will eventually be the better tyre, because for some reason, even in full wet conditions, the full wets just don't seem to want to work, as Colin also goes quickest currently. We're now into the 47s.
Yeah, starting to see some good laps on the board. Colin was, the front two on inters was Polsky on the wet. Apologies. And yeah, please do like the stream, folks. It does help push it to more viewers and invites more people to the league, which, where's the harm in that? So yeah, please do like the stream, comment in the YouTube chat, gives us something to ramble on about. So yeah.
Yeah, Jules just spoilt the party. The top four was Noah's Ark style. It was McLaren, Aston Martin, but Jules has just put that racing ball smack bang in the middle of the two pairings.
Yeah.
Ending that tandem.
Yeah, dry line starting to form a bit now. I'm interested to see. I think Jules is going for another hot lap. He's not taking any cooldown. I mean,
Saviour's got it down to the 45s.
Yeah, wow, 3 seconds difference now. Yeah, that dry line really making itself known now.
Yeah, that's the dry line forming. So getting the inters firing up, and it's also finding where the grip is. So Saviour's obviously getting into a groove now and is finding all the right sections where the grip is and the confidence. And it's looking quite promising for Saviour at this stage, but it's still early in the session.
Jules is a second up on his previous lap, so he is most likely going to disrupt where Colin is. If he can improve coming through these final couple of corners, he could have a shot at overtaking Saviour in the order, provisionally. I'd argue I really like those final two corners. I think that just long left-hander is quite nice, as Armar with a 145.4 goes fastest, with Jules, who we were just focusing on then, with a 146.9. Yes, quite a long lap
the rain seems to be a bit lighter now as well compared to what it was at the start of the session. It was quite heavy, as whoopee, bit of a slide there for Jules out of turn 5, but collected it well. But yeah, rain has definitely eased off, and it's definitely looking more like intermediates now. So
Colin
And
has just gone fastest purple sector 2. So we will see what time he puts on the board as he comes round into turn 18. See what he can do in that beautiful looking McLaren. And he set a 1:45.2. That's a very good lap from him.
Finding out now that the times are coming down as the session goes on, because it's just the evolution of the track. Because as you see, the dry line has formed, and drivers are finding the grip and the confidence on the intermediates, and as GTS is into the 43s now. So times are absolutely tumbling as we about halfway into this session.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting to see. It's going to come down to the last couple of minutes to get out and do a full push lap.
The way this session is going, it's who's going to leave it as late as possible, because with the conditions as they are, you want to be leaving it as late as you dare to be the last one over the line, because obviously the last car over the line will have the more of an advantage compared to the rest of the field, because of that slightly more evolution of track towards the end. So as Saviour now into the 43s as well, so we're slowly making his way to the 40s. I wonder if we'll get probably a 42, probably into the 41s, maybe even into the 40s by the end of this qualifying, the rate it's going.
Socio has just started his lap after not having previously set one. It's looking like Vans won't be setting maybe actually. He's got time, but yeah, Rassam won't be setting a lap. But let's see what Socio can do now as it comes around the kink in the road, turn 6 up to turn 7, which is Memorial Corner. Push it nice and wide. Yep, he does there. And we'll ride on board. That perspective. A difficult corner, this one. Bit of a weird one in the sense where it feels like it just goes on forever and ever. Turn 9, that is. Turn 11, 12, also an awkward one as Armar dips into the 42s. That's nearly a second up on Saviour. Wow, really coming down now. And Vital so happy with what he's done so far. Or maybe not actually. He might have had a connection error.
He's disconnected from the session, so hopefully he can get back in.
Socio is purple sector 2 though, so we'll see what he can do as he powers it along the back straight. An interesting set of corners these. This is where you go under the big modern bridge into 18, throw the car in nice and wide on the exit, and he's in with a 1:44.4, which puts him in 4th place.
Top 4 cars are all Mercedes powered. You got Armar in the Williams, Saviour in the McLaren, GTS in the Aston Martin, and Sociopath in the Mercedes. So Mercedes having the lottery in the top 4 at the moment.
You like to see it. You like to see it. Okay. The Haas of Maverick is also on a lap. I'm presuming he's probably up on his time, considering he set a 1:56 at the start of the session. So we'll have a look now on the lap data. And yes, he's 2.8 seconds up, but that's not going to be much to improve him far up the field, if not even moving from where he currently is. Is Vitalso dipped down again?
Polsky's just gone P2, just outside the 42s. He's very low 43.1. So he's jumped up quite majority of places, and that's just showing you how much this track's improving as we're coming into the closing stages with 3 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, and Maverick, despite having time up on his lap, didn't manage to find his way past anyone else. So yes, that will be unfortunate for him. He might be able to go for a quick warm-up lap and get another one in.
G-Star's just gone second, a fraction off of Armar's provisional pole time.
Oh yeah, let's have a look. He's on his out lap now. Let's have a look as he crosses the line to start his presumably final lap. And he's invalidated. Okay, well, he has got time for a warm-up lap if he turns off the battery. But hopefully he can get round. Polsky moving out the way of the Haas, I believe. Yep. But Armar sitting in first place currently, but G-Star really not too far behind him, and he is going to be crossing the sector line in a couple of seconds or so, as we do have. Yes, oh no, G-Star he's probably going for another out lap. Or another slow lap. Armar 2 has invalidated. Oh no, that's his out lap. Apologies.
It's going to come down to the last seconds of qualifying, because everyone has done best Hornet. He's just jumped up from the bottom half of the timing page to the top half of the timing page, so just shows you how much the track's still improving as we're into the minute.
Yeah, let's have a look now with G-Star. He wasn't too far off Armar. He is on his proper lap now. Vatalso has managed to join back, so that is what you'll like to see. Thank you to the one person who has liked this stream so far. But we do have 6 concurrent viewers. Can we get some more likes? And please, come on guys, get involved with the chat as well. Let's have a look with G-Star. I can't remember actually if he was up on his lap. I believe he is. But we'll see as we come down to the sector line. Excuse me. Saviour in the 139. Holy.
I said 140s, but we're down into the 39. Saviour's left the best till last, and expect a lot of position changes in the with all these last few laps.
But Armar is 0.8 up on his lap, as G-Star is about 1.1 on his lap. So what is going to happen now? Loppy goes up with a 144.4, and G-Star coming round turns 18 and 19 now. What can Armar do? Though he is further back. G-Star 1.5 up. He goes second with a 141.0. A good lap from him, but can Armar take pole from Saviour? He is 2 seconds up on his lap. He's got to find about 0.5 in these last couple of corners. He's got purple sector 2. What can he do? Can he take pole back from Saviour? Let's have a look as he powers it down into turn 18 and 19 to cross the line, and he's done it with a 139.3. It's incredible. He's managed to beat out the lap in the 139s out of nowhere. The 139s appearing in the last moments of qualifying, and Armar steals pole position unless Saviour isn't on a lap. Jules is 0.2 up, so where will he find himself? He will not improve. And Seb Mail is in the pit lane. So, Yes, that is qualifying Dunzo. Armour Red lining up on pole with a 139.3.
It all came down to who was the last one to go, and Armar timing that to perfection. He was pretty much the last car on a flying lap and takes pole by 2/10 to Saviour.
Yeah, it's Armour Red lining up on pole, followed by Saviour and Colin in the McLarens. And then it's Socio, G-Star, Jules, Kaiser Soze, Dumbest Hornet, Seb Mail, Baby Hornet, Polski, Drag King, Sternberg, Loppy, Smith, Maverick, Vitalso, Vans, and Rassam. Those last two did not set laps. But yes, that is qualifying complete here in Singapore. The 5-minute break will ensue as the drivers prepare for their long race ahead. It's not raining, so that's interesting. But yeah, we could see the people. We could see a difference in pace compared to qualifying, especially considering the conditions are very much different this time. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Complete 180 for the start of this one. It's bone dry.
Yeah, very probably very warm and humid though.
But as you've seen during qualifying, just like it used to be when Formula One was racing around Malaysia, when it rains, it rains.
Indeed, indeed it does. I wish I was somewhere warm right now. It's freezing over here. Flipping freezing. Right, Mr. Carl Edens, do you have any facts for us? We do know you are a renowned encyclopedia for F1.
I did mention during the Tier 4 stream yesterday that this track has had 3 different variants. You've got the current version that we have now.
I do remember the one from, what, was it 2020? Or not remember, I do know of it.
Sorry about that. Yeah, the version that we have now, obviously the first, which is a distance of 3.070 miles. The original layout, which included the old Sector 3, where it went under the grandstand, but it also had the infamous Singapore sling where turn 10 is. They removed that for safety reasons because it was such a very short chicane that you got to mount. You practically launching the car off the curbs because of how short of a chicane it was, and the cars were getting that much air that as they were landing down back on the track, the car was either breaking a suspension or they just couldn't get the car turned, and they were going into the barrier on the exit. So they ended up removing that, which then took it down to, from what it was originally, 3.148 miles, and got rid of this Singapore sling, which took it down by 0.001 of a mile, down to 3.47 miles. And obviously, to improve the overtaking, they decided to take a chunk out of Sector 3, removing that that piece of track that went under the grandstand. And obviously, they've recently, as of I believe in real life last year, and on this year's game, not last year's game, that run from 13 through 14, 15 down to 16 you got 2 DRS zones because you got the detection point around about the Anderson Bridge, and just like in Australia, you've got one detection point, and you'll get DRS for both the run down from 13 to 14 and the run through 14 to 16. So you get 2 bites of the cherry with a double DRS in that final part of the lap.
Indeed, yeah, there are 4 DRS zones in this track, which is a lot of DRS, realistically, but you do need it because it's probably one of the only hopes of overtaking.
But as we've seen in real life and also this week in MRC, despite the changes to the track to try and improve overtaking, it's still not that that good of a track for overtaking. It's still a difficult one to do it, and that's mainly down to a lot of the corners around here are low speed, low traction corners, so it's easy to slide the rear out on exits, and you've really got to watch those rear tyres because you don't want to be spinning those rears up and adding too much unnecessary wear onto the tyres. We're about to go on to the formation lap, which Armar will be leading off.
Yes, so the front 2 opting for the medium tyres, whilst Colin and Socio go for the hards, and then everyone behind them up to 10th on the mediums, Polsky and Maverick on the hards too, but everyone else choosing the mediums, which will be interesting to see because these front 2 will have a better launch off the line. However, Colin and Socio will be able to sustain themselves for a lot longer when we get into the nitty-gritty of the race.
Yeah, just going on the fact that Colin and Sociopath are on the hards. We had Tier 4's pole sitter last night. Senna started on a set of hards. He managed to hold the lead from the start and got a bit of a gap in the opening stages. But what almost done his race in was early safety cars, and you're taking a gamble with possible early safety cars if you're on the hard tyres, because yes, you'll probably swap to mediums, but the mediums won't go long enough, so which then plays a factor. If you're doing a 2-stop, have you gone for the balanced tyre allocation of the 2 mediums and a hard, or have you gone for the harder allocation, which is the singular medium, the 2 hards? Personal preference, I would say I'd go for the harder allocation around here, because the hard tyre is, yes, it's not as quick as the mediums, but it's a lot more consistent, and you can get a bit of pace for a longevity, and you can get a better rhythm with the hard tyres. But as soon as the mediums start to drop off, you will feel it, and then it's all about trying to manage those mediums to try and 1-stop it, which is possible. For a 1-stop on the mediums, you want to be looking about laps 13, 14 or 15, but
get to the
very
lights,
quickly
sorry.
for the red lights.
Yeah, I have to pause you there. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Singapore, and we are a go here under the light in Marina Bay. Armar gets a good start. Xavier had missed his grid box, but it's very ordinary going through the first couple of corners for the front 3, but Socio has found his way past a couple of drivers. I don't know if he started from 4th, can't quite remember. It's side by side between G-Star and Jules at the moment. Good to see Jules on the track. I haven't seen him for a while, but yes, we are side by side between these two. G-Star and Jules, a good amount of pace for both of them, but G-Star has found itself running wide after getting past Jules. It's side by side with them again, pushing Jules very wide on the exit, but that gives Kaiser Soze a chance to get involved. And that's Jules in front now with G-Star battling it out with Kaiser. Well, an interesting start. Uniform for the front three, but 5th, 6th and 7th has been interesting as the two Aston Martins were in a bit of a kerfuffle as Drag King has got front wing damage as he comes over the Anderson Bridge. He's dropped right back down to the back of the order. He's not going to have much pace now, especially because of the amount of damage he's sustained.
You say the top 3 was like as stationary off the start. The top 4 are as they are off the start because Sociopath did start on that second row alongside Colin, and they're doing what they need to do in this early stage. Both of them, as Colin's gone wide out the final corner, and Sociopath said thank you very much, and has moved himself up into 3rd place. But yeah, all they've got to do is just try and keep the likes of Armor and Saviour in eye shot, in at least close proximity, because they don't want to start falling back from them two, because if they can keep relatively close to Armor and Saviour, it'll slowly come to them as the mediums drop off, because the mediums tend to start going off around about, if you're in full mode on them and not taking it easy, you probably start feeling the effect of the tyres by about lap 5, probably lap 6, depending on how much you're using them.
Yeah, and we did have Vans round there at turn 8, but he has got it recovered now. Drag King at the very back of the pack after having pitted to repair that front wing damage, and Baby Hornet's retired. That's a virtual safety car 2 laps into this race. Now, will the front
that was on the Anderson Bridge, looking at the mini-map.
Will the drivers opt to pit? That is the question.
It's too. I would say it's too early. Even on a set of mediums, it's.
Yeah.
You'll be pretty much nailed on for a 2-stop if you pitted now. It's just way too early to do anything. So majority of drivers, unless they've got damage, will stay out at this stage because we're only on lap 2 and. It's not worth putting a set of hards on from here because they just will not make it, because you'll be asking over 20 odd laps on a set of hard tyres, which probably is doable, but you're going to be asking way too much of that tyre. Even though it's the most durable tyre on this track, you're just going to be asking too much of it if you came in at this point now.
Indeed, and yeah, Drag King is going to be feeling very hard done by there, especially after having pitted just the lap before. But we are back to racing conditions, so I don't even think he would have. I know he would have made it round if he hadn't pitted, but yes, we move on. Armor and Saviour have already dropped Socio. A Saviour 5/10 back from Armor now.
Sociopath and Colin are keeping them in their visual vicinity, so they're doing what they need to do with being on those hard tyres, because they've just got to play the waiting game in this opening stint, because in a few laps time it'll start slowly going more towards them as the mediums of Armor and Saviour will slowly start to drop off. So they've just got to try and keep a Saviour with a monumental twitch on the exit of turn, I believe that was 17. I'm having to do a bit of maths because I've got the old Singapore layout in front of me, where it's got the total of 23 corners instead of the 19 that we have now, as G-Star's the first one to fall foul of the track limits.
Yeah, quite easy to get a track limits penalty here. I mean, you would think because it's all just lined with barrier, but it's There's a couple of corners here and there where you can just push it a bit too wide or take a bit too much of the curb, and yeah, you'll find yourself with a penalty.
As GTS with the fastest lap, he's on relatively new hard tyres because of pitting for most likely repairs on the opening lap or two. Yeah, you mentioned about track limits right here. It's you would think it's not that easy to pick them up because, as you say, if you run wide out of a corner, you're pretty much meeting Mr. Barrier, and but yeah, most the track limit here would be like an early turn in at turn 1 or drifting wide on the final 2 corners. So there are the odd corner here and there that you can pick it up, but it mainly comes down to if you're using too much of the track at certain points and you just drift it slightly wide over track limits trying to use more than you're allowed, or if you accidentally turn in too early and just take too much of the corner on the way in.
Indeed, yeah. And our Martin Saviour dropped the rest of the pack by about 3 seconds now. So Socio and Collins still trying their best to stay within the sights of the front 2, but it's not looking like it's gonna prove to be working really. Because now even Colin has dropped out of DRS of Socio.
Yeah, we've got a 4-way scrap further down the order. You got Seb Mayo, Dunbest Hornet, Polsky, and Rassam 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, all within a train of each other. And then we've got another train further back behind Lorpy, which goes from P12 down to P15. So that's Lorpy down to Vitolso.
We do have Maverick round. He doesn't look like he's picked up damage, but that does find GTS ahead of him now. Let's have a look, because I think things were heating up with Dumbest Hornet and Sebmate. As he's got the DRS now, can he make a move into turn 1? Oh, he looks to have a move, but stays behind. But now it's Polsky on Dumbest Hornet. Polsky runs it a little bit wide. Dumbest Hornet right up the gearbox of Seb Mail in the Mercedes. What can they do with the DRS now? In that V-carb, very good looking V-carb, might I add. He looks to have a move again, but also decides no, and we've got Dumbest Hornet
Seb Mail and I believe that was Rassam as well, going deep at turn 7. Both of them having to go the opposite side of the painted red and white curb.
It's definitely an awkward one. Yeah, I mean, we saw it in qualifying too. It's very easy to just overthrow the car. Yeah, and you'll find yourself... Well, I'd say that's probably one of the main spots for track limits, really. If you do that too many times, you're in for one.
I just want to give a quick shout to Rassam, who, as we noticed in qualifying, when he was out on the, I believe it was the full wet tyres at the time, find himself in the barrier in the early stages of qualifying at turn 5. He's had a really decent start into this one. He started right at the back and he's currently running P11 at this stage on those mediums in that train with Dunbest Hornet Polsky and Seb Mail. So it's been a nice steady start for Rassam, and just going to the Sociopath and Colin, those two are having a comfortable start as well, because the fact that they've remained where they have, yes, they've swapped places between them, they're still relatively up near the front on the hot tyres, so they haven't dropped off. They haven't lost positions throughout these opening few laps, but those hards will be I believe, the better tyre at this stage, even though that gap has opened up to 3.8, 3.76 seconds. But that's mainly because Saviour is in DRS. I believe he's having a look at Armand. He was, but thought better of it. So the McLaren stays behind the Williams for another lap as we head on to lap 8 of 31.
Rassam's got a lot of front wing damage. I don't know what's happened with him, but he's lost both of his end plates and the back of his front wing. I don't know how that's happened to cause that type of damage, but yeah.
Spoke too soon. I said that he was having a nice steady start after starting at the back, and now he's found himself with a bit of damage, so I spoke too soon for that one. Sorry, Rassam. That's on me.
Yeah.
Can you get conduct points for cursing drivers from the comms box?
I was about to say they should do that, but then I realised I'd literally not be in the league anymore.
To be honest, there'd be quite a few commentators that would end up being out of the league if that were the case, and I'd definitely put the likes of Mark and Connor on the top of that list for cursing people, if that were the case.
There'd be no one left on the team anymore.
No, they'd have to have a complete new revamp of comms, because we'd all be gone.
It's just completely impossible to be a commentator sometimes, because whatever you say, it's basically just set in stone that that's going to happen now. It's like
as soon as you say something positive, it has the opposite effect. Yet you say something negative, and then all of a sudden somebody pulls a worldie out.
Yeah, and we're not even allowed to say the forbidden word. Well, the forbidden 2 words driven by Bert Mylander.
I've already said it, so if it happens, I brought it out in tier 4. I'll bring it out in tier 0.
I've done it before. I'll do it again.
Precisely.
Good fun. Right, yes.
Spices things up, makes things interesting. Where's a bit of rain when you want it?
Especially in 31 laps around a street circuit. Where the lap time's about, what have people got going for lap times? Let's have a look.
You're looking round about mid-30s in the dry around here.
Yeah, so it's a long race, really. I mean, the reason
race of attrition is Singapore is the best way to describe it. It's a race of attrition.
The reason it's so long, I think, primarily, well, yes, it's a lot of lap because it's measured by distance, not time, isn't it? So it'd be
it's so the reason. As you say, it's quite a long one with Singapore because it's a lot longer lap than the likes of Monaco, for example.
It's a short lap, but a long lap in the same sense. It's a weird one. But yes, 31 laps of... was it the inaugural street race or something? And also the inaugural night race.
It was the very first night race back in 2008 when it was introduced on the calendar, and what a way to make it stamp on the calendar in 2000. Ooh, we have a safety car.
Oh great! Damn it! That's because I said the. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't say the words. I just said driven by Mylander. I didn't. What is that for?
That's a good question.
But this is perfect
if you're on mediums, it is time to come in because you'll be behind the safety car for at least 2, maybe 3 laps as everyone bunches back up. So if you're on a set of mediums, it's a slam dunk if you should pit or not, because you put a set of hards on now, you'll be sitting behind the safety car for, as I say, 2 or 3 laps as everyone gets bunched back up. So by the time we go green flag racing again, it'll be about the time that a couple of the drivers will be going from the mediums to the hards for that one-stop strategy. So the likes of Armar, Saviour, Jules, G-Star, Soze, Seb Mail and Dumbest Hornet, and also Vitalso, who haven't pitted yet because they haven't made the way round to the pit lane. As you can see with the front two, Armar and Saviour are straight in. Sociopath and Colin, I believe, are going to follow him in, but
it's interesting
they'll be
considering
they'll be going from hards to mediums, and it's going to be a bit of an ask taking the mediums, which will probably be around about 18 laps. I mean, you don't want to be taking the mediums more than the maximum of 15 around here. But this safety car at this stage has definitely neutralised undercuts, because Connor, with a bit of maths, worked out during Tier 3 that one of the undercuts that happened during that race was over 6 seconds.
Wow.
So it's a massive undercut round here. So the fact that safety cars come out now and everyone's pretty much put on brand new tyres, whether it's a set of mediums or a set of hards, it's pretty much scrapped that undercut possibility that some of those on the mediums would have been looking at. So it's definitely took strategy out of the window, but it's going to be nip and tuck whether the likes of Maverick, Rassam, Polsky, Colin and Sociopath will be able to get those mediums to the end, because when the safety car comes in, it'll probably be about 17, 18 laps that they've got to take those mediums for, which you can do on the hards, but the mediums, you're just going to be asking too much of them. You're going to be nurturing those tyres, taking it so cautiously, and which is why you'll probably see those on the hards doing a bit of weaving behind the safety car, but those that are on mediums won't be weaving at all, because they won't want to put any unnecessary heat into those mediums. But speaking of that, I see Sociopath, who's on the mediums, doing and which I'm surprised. I thought he'd leave it till around about the safety car comes in, because yes, you want to get heat in the tyres ready for the restart, but you don't want to be adding too much scrub to them before the race goes racing again.
Yeah, I'm still wondering what caused the safety car, but I have a hunch it might have been G-Star and a bit of front wing debris, because he did come in and change his front wing during the safety car. I did see that. But yeah, that's the only possible idea I have of why there's a safety car.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the race directory and looking at the pit stops, and there is a front wing in the repairs section for G-Star. So yeah, possibility, and you did see it on stream as well, that G-Star had a front wing change. So that's, as you say, probably the reasoning behind this this current safety car.
Just by luck that I was on G-Star when you pitted.
So yeah, we've got as Vance has called it an evening, he's parked it in the pits. So we've gone down from 19 down to 17, and the only 2 cars left to get onto the back of the safety car train are the 2 Hasses of Rassam and Maverick. Rassam at turn 7, whereas Maverick's just gone through the kink of 6 and is just heading towards turn 7. So they've got a few corners still to catch up to the safety car, but they won't want to be one. I don't think they want to be wanting to catch the safety car up too quickly, because they'll just take too much out of the soft tyres trying to catch up to that pack. So they just got to take it easy. They can go quickly down the straights, but in the corners they got to be careful so they don't add too much wear onto them before we go green flag again. Frank in the YouTube chats, he says sorry, he had red rear wing, so he must have gone in backwards somewhere and damaged that rear wing. That the only feasible thing would be to park it in the pits. So unfortunately that's reason for one of the retirements. That would be Vans. So getting rear wing damage, especially around here, is not what you want, because there may be a couple straights around here, but because a lot of the corners are low speed and he says backwards, forwards, every one, every words, whatever, as it's
Backwards, forwards,
must have been
everwards.
yeah. So it's been a bit of a struggle for Vans tonight. So that's, as I say, 2 retirements. We started with 19, we're now down to 17. The top 15 drivers score points, so at this stage from Armagh down to GTS will get points. The only 2 that wouldn't get points would be the 2 Hasses of Sam and Maverick, because they're 16th and 17th. But just bringing tier 4 up, they only had 15 finishers, so everyone in that race scored points. So as long as you keep going and don't give up, anything can happen. Even if we go down 15 runners running, as long as you don't crash the car or retire in the pits or anything happens, you're pretty much guaranteed points if we end up with only 15 left running. So we're about to go racing again.
Yeah, when will Armagh go? I don't really know the drop the hammer point for this track. Well, as I said earlier, I'm not very familiar with this track, really.
I think it tends to be between turns 17 and 18, or probably, as I believe he's got now, just before turn 18.
Yeah.
So yeah, between turns 17 and 18 is drop hammer, as you say it. So back racing again around Singapore, and it's a nice, clean, tidy, steady restart.
Yeah, no lunges yet, which is... Yeah, we'll see what they can do.
Sociopath brushing the wall on the exit turn 5. Really getting up close and personal to the barrier. No damage, as it was just the wheels hitting side on with the barrier, so no damage done on that Mercedes.
Yeah, I clipped the wall. Check rear left. I'm just imagining like Nico Hulkenberg.
Are you trying for the Ferrari job for next season by any chance with that impression?
We are checking. Must be the water. It does add to the words of wisdom. Yeah, honestly, Ferrari are useless. There's a reason I'm not a Ferrari fan. And that's probably it. But...
No, you're a massive Lego fan, and we'll leave it at
yeah, I'm a Lego F1 team fan.
Lego by name, Lego by nature.
Ugh. I'm an Oscar fan at heart.
Sternberg's picked up 3 seconds now, so that's Sternberg joining G-Star on the warnings
Saviour's got an excellent
penalty.
run. Saviour.
Yeah, he has. He's having a...
Wow. Blazing it past. And he's passed now. Wow, okay. Didn't mean to interrupt you there, sorry, but yeah, change.
Yeah, he went to the outside of the kink of 6, which then gives him the inside for turn 7, and he got the move done just before the braking zone with the DRS, so that is now the McLaren. Now Armour's got his side mirrors completely full of a silver Mercedes, and just behind that the black and papaya of the second McLaren as Sociopath dives one down the inside and just makes contact with Armour and almost ended up in the wall. And
Armour's round!
I believe Armour's just had a moment and hit the wall.
He's got a lot of damage.
For the Williams.
A lot of front wing damage for Armour.
Yeah, he's keeping it out the wall at 16, so that'll be a trip to the pits for Armour. If he's got a set of hards, it won't be too bad. If he's got a second set of hards, he can put them on and go to the end. Jules now with a 3 as well, but it's soon kicked up.
This has completely ruined Armour's race. From first right down to 16th.
Collins now picked up 3 seconds, so we've had an extra 2 drivers get 3 seconds, and one of them's in 3rd place, so that's going to hurt Colin towards the end of it.
We'll have a look at the penalties. Colin, Jules, G-Star and Sternberg are on the 3 seconds. Everyone else keeps a clean nose. We'll have a look at Rassam and Stern and... bit of contact between those two. It's a lovely camera angle, that though.
Sociopath looking very feisty. He's getting right up behind the McLaren as saviour. This is hards versus mediums, both on the same lifespan because they both pitted at the same time under the safety car.
Well, that safety car has played into Socio's hands then, actually, if he's got a lot of pace now.
Yeah, he's having a look at the inside of 16, thinks better of it, ducks back in behind Saviour's McLaren.
He had a bit of a lock coming through 17. But, yeah,
he's also set the fastest lap, 33.2.
Looking very pacey at the moment, very, very pacey. Now the question is, will he be able to find his way past Saviour in the McLaren?
Hornet's disconnected. Fingers crossed he can get back in. He's down in 9th place now because Polski's just took him.
He's back.
So he'll be tumbling down the order. Yeah, he's been passed by Lorpy now. Sociopath having a bit of a look on the outside for turn 7, but just having a look, trying to make Saviour guess.
Saviour is putting his car in all the right places though, so yeah, he's doing a very good job of defending, but with that DRS...
He's a tough cookie, is Saviour. He's definitely a tough cookie. He's not the easiest of drivers to make crack. So he's taking a lot of pressure, but Colin's now joining the battle now because he's got up to the back of Sociopath and is now part of that battle for the 3 podium positions. All 3 are in DRS zone of each other. Sociopath again having a little look, but remains behind the McLaren.
He's got a lot of pace. All he needs is a good run with the DRS, but Colin is not too far behind him. I think he's caught up by about a second now.
Yeah, and you can see on the straights that Saviour's trying to break the toe from Sociopath because as soon as they got onto the start-finish straight, Saviour already ducked to the inside trying to break the toe. You can see him not trying to let Sociopath get any kind of toe to even have a little sniff. So Saviour doing what he does best, and that's taking all the pressure in the world. Omar sets the fastest lap, 32.608. As he's on his recovery drive after the restart when Sociopath went for an ambitious move. Well, I think ambitious is probably a bit harsh, but that's just my opinion on it at turn 14. But it was like they were both trying to outbrake each other, and it was a bit of a cluster on the exit. And then obviously Armar just ended up losing the car for a moment and flicking the wall.
I think Oscar Piastri, was it Oscar? I think he would describe it as opportunistic.
It was definitely a Lando Norris-esque move. I'd having a bit of a jab there at Lando fans.
And rightly well so. Sorry, I should state I am an Oscar fan, so like I'm just feeling like. Anyway, Singapore was a rough weekend. Well, it was a rough race, but Rassam dropping down the order. I do believe, yeah, he's got damage front left.
Yeah, he has. He's missing an end plate on that left-hand side.
Let's have a look. Has Rassam pitted?
Oh, Dragkin having Lorpy all over the back of him. Lorpy had a little look into the DRS zone. Rassam having a look on the inside, but
Rassam, despite that front wing damage, still being very aggressive, trying to get past Loppy.
Yeah.
He's got
again,
a
Lorpy,
good run. He's gone into the back.
Bit of a contact. Lorpy, just like Saviour, is a easy driver to make crack. He's very well defensive aware. He's not afraid to get his elbows out, that's for sure, is Lorpy. So it's quite fitting that he's in a Red Bull in Tier 0.
Right, Socio still hanging on to Saviour, but it's now Colin who's catching up to Socio. And Jules in this little train at the very front, and then it's 4 seconds or nearly 5 seconds between those and G-Star. So yeah, spread out now between most members of the field. Couple of trains here and there. Drag King though had an incredible recovery drive. Where did he start? He started in 12th. Dropped all the way to the back and then recovered himself to 9th. So yeah, a very good drive from him so far. So is Rassam. He's currently sat in 8th after starting from, I think it's the very back, wasn't it? Because he didn't set a lap.
Yeah, Rassam started 19th at the very back of the grid because he ended up finding the wall at turn 5 during that wet qualifying session. And got a bit of a inter-team scrap going off. We've got the two Ferraris chasing each other, Sternberg ahead of Smith, but Smith's currently got Dunbest Hornet all over his rear diffuser, so he's under more pressure than he's been able to put under his teammates in front. Ferrari down in 12th and 13th at the moment, so almost like reminiscent of the real, more the practice for Ferrari, because in real life Ferrari were quite down on the timing pages, but soon picked it up in the race. Oh, as GTS gets 3 seconds, so that's gonna play factor towards the end.
Yeah, let's bit spread out now, really. It's just these front 4, they're really close together, but they are not seeming to be making any moves. Yeah. What else have we got going on? We have, Smith with the DRS on Sternberg. he's gone to the outside. He doesn't manage. Can he go for the switchback? He doesn't manage it. Oh, but Sternberg braking very early.
Oh, Maverick has fallen foul of the awkward pit entry here at Singapore. He's just picked up 10 seconds.
And we have Vitalso round.
Oh, Saviour's slowly opening up a gap to Sociopath, so those mediums starting to feel the pressure, whereas the hards can take it. So Sociopath now, I believe, will be into a more controlled phase, so keeping that rear in check, but he's going to be coming under pressure from both Colin and Jules. Jules will be the more favourable of the three because he's on hard tyre, whereas Sociopath and Colin are on. It'll be an amazing job if those two.
Oh, Socio's gone round.
Social past the rear's gone.
Oh,
the
no,
rear went at turn 5.
And he's got front wing damage too as he's found himself in the wall. Yeah, that's going to really throw things up actually, because the McLarens now are leading this race. Jules and G-Star on the 3 seconds. So that 3 seconds of Colin is going to become basically irrelevant from now.
I wonder if we could probably see a bit of teamwork between Saviour and Colin, because Saviour seems to have dropped back a bit to allow Colin to have DRS to be able to defend from Jules. So bit of teamwork shit from Team Papaya tonight as Saviour's dropped back to allow Colin DRS to be able to defend from Jules. So solid teamwork by the two of them.
You'll
now
like
that
to
they're both
see
first
it.
and second.
You'll
Oh
like
yeah,
to
it's
see
nice to see. It is very nice to see teamwork, because sometimes when teamwork is done to absolute perfection, it's a very well thing to see. And at this stage, I believe it's reminiscent of what Carlos Sainz did in the, I believe it was the 2023 Singapore Grand Prix,
Oh yeah,
where
that
he
was
kept
the only race that not Red Bull won.
yeah,
it?
the only non-Red Bull. Yeah, it was the only non-Red Bull win that year was Sainz at Singapore in 2023. He kept Lando in DRS to not only defend himself, but to also neutralise the car behind. I can't remember who the car third, but Sainz using a very clever strategy to keep hold of that lead and win. So Saviour currently doing it, but I believe Saviour's doing it more to aid Colin. So they're definitely working together to get maximum points here at Singapore.
Yeah, I mean, they are going to be in for some good points running first and second, and as a McLaren driver. It's nice to see McLaren getting some points. Jules still hanging on though.
I too drive McLaren in Tier 2, so always nice to see the team you're representing in your tier doing well in others. We did get a race win in Tier 2 in McLaren in the hands of Airways, so very positive positive vibes at Singapore if you're racing in Papaya colours. As Dunbest Hornet 3 seconds, Jules having a look, but as you can tell,
bit of scrapping
Colin
between Armar and Dummus. Sorry.
It's also on softs. That's an ask. It's also down in 16th on soft tyres.
Can he get to the end on those? I doubt it.
No, not from here. No, it's too much for the softs. Sternberg now picks up 3 seconds. We've got quite a few penalties now towards these later stages, so the driver's starting to feel the effects of this race because it's been going for quite a while. It feels like an age around Singapore, but Team McLaren working in harmony out front. It won't be the first 1-2 we had this week because in Tier 3, Sauber got a magnificent 1-2 in Tier 3 with GTS winning that for Sauber, and it's just slipped my mind who his teammate is in Tier 3, but those Team Sauber were running high after Singapore in Tier 3, and it looks like Tier 0's McLaren are looking to do a carbon copy.
Indeed,
as we have a safety car that has been brought out, and that's Sociopath. Sociopath at turn 13.
Oh no. Oh.
We're now down to 17 runners. So we've lost Baby Hornet, Vans, and now Sociopath.
It's Sabby who's the Sauber driver.
Yeah, it was I will say it was an absolute phenomenal result for Sauber in Tier 3 because GTS and Sabby, they run a race of their own at the end of it.
Considering Sabby DNF'd in China, so yeah.
Yeah, a big bounce back for Sauber in Tier 3. The only problem is you got a car here now. What do McLaren do? Because you got Saviour and Colin very close together. If both of them were to box, Colin would lose a bit more time than Saviour because of being behind him, and he'll probably end up could only lose. We'll soon find out because he's following Saviour in, so McLaren will be double stacking.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice, but yeah, under the safety car, you're not going to be taking as much time.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to be coming in. He's out.
Ooh, softs.
Yeah, softs going on. Colin Jules also soft. A front wing change as well for them.
Colin really got held in the pits then.
Yeah, he had a front wing change as well.
Oh yeah, it didn't.
So Jules and Colin have gone for the soft. Saviour's gone for a medium. Soze's gone for another set of hard. Seb Mail's gone soft. GTS is on a set of mediums. Lorpy's gone soft. Rassam's gone soft. Mick's gone soft. Dumbest Hornets put a set of softs on. So
very shuffled.
It is a very shuffled mix of tyres because you got all compounds out there because you got G-Star who stayed out. He's on the hards. You got Sternberg who stayed out. He's on hards. Armar stayed out hards, and obviously Soze's come in and he's put in a fresh set of hards. So it'll be interesting to see how those soft tyres will feel. If my maths is correct, we'll probably have the safety car coming in at around about lap 28. So at the end of lap 28 onto 29. So the softs may do it, but they're gonna have to take it very cautiously under this safety car, not to burn the softs up too much before the safety car comes in. So I believe it'll be lap 28 onto 29 that the Aston Martin safety car will be diving in.
Now the interesting thing, the only people to have not pitted recently is Armar, Sternberg and G-Star. 16 laps on those hards for G-Star and Sternberg. They are going to be feeling it very soon. so is Armour on those hards. Actually, they won't be feeling it very soon. They're feeling it now. But they haven't got too many laps left after the safety car, so hopefully they should just be able to push it through. And hopefully not lose too much position due to that tyre offset.
And for where Star is in first, it is a massive tyre offset because, as you say, those hards that he's on are around 16 laps old, and you've got Saviour on brand new mediums who can go full attack, and you've got Jules and Colin on fresh softs who will be even more of an attacking mode with those softs. So yeah, we've got the Ferrari, and I believe that's the Racing Bull. So that is Smith and Dunbest Hornet just catching towards the back of the safety car train. Maverick is just ahead of them. He is a lap down, and he's about the only car that's out of position in this safety car train. The only car that we're waiting on to catch up to the safety car is the Alpine of Vitalso, who is currently just gone through turn 8 and heading towards turn 9 now. So
Yeah,
could
hopefully
be
not too many
one
laps
more,
left.
could be one more lap that we have the safety car out there. So my maths looks to be correct that we'll have green flag racing at the end of 28 going on to lap 29, because it's only the Alpine of the Torso that needs to catch up to the pack.
Yeah. So this is gonna be Saviour's opportunity to get past G-Star at the safety car restart. And I'd like to think he will, for two reasons. A, he's on much fresher tyres. B, he's been very fast the entire race. Well, no, not to two reasons, three reasons, in the sense where G-Star also has a penalty. So even if Saviour doesn't get past G-Star by the end,
Yeah,
possibly
this
can have that penalty.
this safety car this late in the race has definitely damaged those that are on penalties at this stage, because the last thing you want, if you're carrying, even if you're carrying 3 seconds from one track limit penalty, a late safety car is your worst nightmare, because everyone's roughly on either brand new mediums or brand new softs, so everyone's going to be joshing for position, and it's pretty much turned into a 3-lap sprint for the end of this one, because we will be going racing at the end of this lap on to lap 29, so it'll be lap 29, 30 and 31. So we'll have 2 laps of DRS to close this one out, and expect fireworks, because with it being a 3-lap sprint to the end, everyone's going to be going for it, especially if they're on brand new tyres. So expect G-Star to, as he's backed them up, people getting relatively close, backing everyone up. He's going to be watching, he's going to be using a bit of gamesmanship here. He's going to be taking them relatively slowly on this restart, because, and as Sternberg has picked up 10 seconds for ignoring yellow. So my guess is, as the pack has got bunched up, he has had an illegal overtake, and you can see people having to give positions back as G-Star is making them wait, which is no surprise with being on 17 lap. I believe he's gone now. He went between turn 16 and 17. But he's definitely made them wait for it. But you can see the grip that the grip that Saviour's got on those mediums, and even Colin and George behind. The McLaren almost pushing the Sauber through these first 3 corners.
Yeah,
They
I
won't
mean,
have
Saviour.
DRS for this lap, but they will have DRS for the last 2 laps.
Jules is side by side with Saviour though. Oh no, actually, I
Yeah,
can't
soft
see.
tyres. Oh, we're going to have 3 wide because Colin's in the middle of them, but backs out.
Ooh.
It's getting...
They've kept it very clean though.
Yeah,
But it's
getting
Jules
a bit...
who finds his way past Saviour now. Saviour and Jules still side by side. Jules is going to have those better tyres for now. But what can they
he's trying to hang it round. He's still there with Save.
Oh, he does.
He's
and
still
Colin.
there.
Colin managed to sneak in too. He's just there or
Saviour
thereabouts.
Saviour going for a bit of a lunge at 13, but Jules with the superior traction on those soft tyres. But G-Star will be wanting them to scrap even more, because if they fight as they are now, that's kind of helping G-Star a little bit from keeping the lead. But Jules is really going full attack mode as he's just gone down the 16 to 10 lead. But he's carrying a penalty, so it's still possible for a McLaren.
And
Saviour's picked up 3.
Wow, so that has
so's
completely
Colin.
eradicated it. Well,
So
that eradicates the whole idea of having to pull that gap now. Jules has to basically just stay in the lead of this race until the end, but it's Saviour finds his way past G-Star, definitely having those better tyres. And now, Armar actually not too far behind Colin. After dropping to the back of the pack, he's gonna be able to stay within those 3 seconds. And hopefully gain position.
The gap to Armar is 2.5, so it is opening up. He's 2.9 now. Is now out of that 3 seconds of Jules, so Jules definitely doing what he needs to do. He's got the gap to Armar to over, so nullifies that, but all it takes is a little lapse in concentration and it completely turn on its head again. The fact that we had both McLarens with no penalties, and then all of us, both of them picked penalties up in those last 2 corners on going on to lap 30. You've done all the hard work keeping it in track limits for 29 laps, and then going on to lap 30 you pick up 3 seconds in. It can hurt so much picking up a late track limit penalty, because you do all the hard work to stay within the car's penalty range, and then all of it all level, and it's all hands on deck. But Saviour will be able to attack more on those medium, because he'll have a lot more life in them. Soft of Jules, as the McLaren has gone through with DRS. So McLaren 1, Racing Bull 2, McLaren 3 on this final lap.
But yes, let's see what we can do for Armar, as he is the only one in this top 6 without a penalty. He is 4 seconds behind Colin though. He's really dropped off. If he can gain a bit in these couple corners, I doubt he will be able to. He is on the 15 lap old hards. Yeah, he's going to be very much struggling, but considering he started first, dropped right down to the back of the pack, and then recovered himself up to 4th, I think that's a very impressive performance from him actually.
It's a solid fight back for Armar as Saviour's coming into the final few corners now.
Yeah, as he comes round into the final 18 and 19 to cross the line, it's Saviour wins the Singapore Grand Prix for Tier 0 here tonight on a Thursday, followed by Jules, Colin and Armar covering himself to 4th. Then G-Star drops right down. It's Seb Mail, Rassam, Polski, G-Star, Lopi, Kaiser Soze, Smith, and then it's a bit of battling going on the cooldown lap.
GTS had a moment at the kink of turn 15 and has completely wiped his front wing off, so he ended up losing a lot of time and ended up finishing behind Dunn, who took him just before the line with the lack of turning with that no front wing.
Yeah, and then Sternberg crosses the line there. Right, well, that was an interesting Singapore Grand Prix. 2 safety cars, a late safety car causing some strategy calls. But yeah, we will have a look at the order in one memento. There we go.
These
on the podium.
standings are provisional at the moment because obviously we've got, if any incidents goes into for the stewards to look at. So these results are provisional as it stands.
Yeah, Xavier wins the race. He has the fastest lap 2. The game driver of the day is Rassam. The most overtakes is also Rassam. And Polsky is the cleanest driver. Yeah, Xavier wins. The German driver in the McLaren, you like to see it, provisionally wins. Probably, yeah, he does set the fastest lap with a 1:31.3, but it's followed by Jules, Colin, Armar, Seb Mail, Rassam, Polsky, G-Star, Loppy, Kaiser Soze, Smith, Thomas Hornet, Drag King, Vitelso, Sternberg, Maverick, that rounds off the finishes, and then it's Socio, Vans, and Baby Hornet, and that concludes our week here in Singapore. Right, Carl, who was your driver of the day?
I could give it to Xavier because he had a very controlled race for a majority of it and he won as well. But my vote is going to go to Rassam, who didn't put a time on the board in qualifying during that wet session. He found himself in the wall early on of that qualifying session, so he had to sit up almost the entire qualifying session. And so he started 19th and he finished, I believe, I think it was 6th or 7th. So, and he had no penalties as well. Kept himself out of trouble. And yeah, so Rassam going from stone dead last at the start, not getting a time in, practically sitting qualifying out, to finish where he did, gaining over 10 places and as well, most overtakes as well. So yeah, I'm going to give mine to Rassam.
I'm going to have to nominate Armar. I mean, he had an incredible performance for the whole of the race pretty much, then dropped down right to the back and then managed to recover it up to 4th, which I feel is a very impressive drive from him.
Yeah, good, and holding off as well, deciding to stay out on that safety car and taking those tyres. I do want to give G-Star a shout out. Those hards were 21 laps flag.
Oh, indeed, yeah. Well, that does conclude our week here in Singapore with the Tier 0 and all the other tiers. Next week, beginning on Monday at 7 o'clock with Tier 2, will be Suzuka, possibly argued by many being one of the best tracks on the F1 calendar. Yes, we are heading to Japan. Get your Haas Suzuka liveries out if you are racing in the Haas. But yeah, from me and Carl, we hope you have a great weekend and a rest of your week. And we will see you next week on Monday. Bye for now.